This truck is red.
These wires are blue.
If you're installing a Dakota Digital,
this video's for you. All right, we're back. Today we are going to put a Dakota Digital in Roland Vita's 1987 Chevy C10. Emily is going to be here with all of her favorite butt jokes, and I'm going to do the best that I can to not say okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started.
Let's do it.
You've seen us do videos showing how we use the original gauges and that, but when you're cruising down the road and you're looking at your digital analog gauges, it's pretty nice, okay?
Pretty cool.
I've always liked it. Every time I drive Brian's truck, I look down and I see what the highest speed is that's been on it, because these things keep track of a lot of different things, like the highest speed, highest quarter mile, things like that. Pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
your high scores.
Yeah, so if you can get one of these, I highly recommend them. They're not a sponsor, okay? The first thing that we got to do, because we are going to use a OBD connector to plug the T in that runs a BIM module that sends some data to this thing.
Data.
Right? Data, we all know about data. And then that gets half of the information that it needs, but it doesn't have to be like that. You could put this on an old school small block Chevy, and they work great too, and they look nice. I don't have one thing to complain about them, right?
Huh, that's weird.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, got my pointer.
Ooh.
Ready to go?
I'm ready.
Whiteboard. There we are, we're back. The OBD2 plug. We've done a video on the OBD plug. The reason we're going to go over it again is because the Dakota Dash, the way we're going to do this one today, it's going to get half of its information from what I call a BIM module. I suppose that's just the part number on BIM 01 on this one. And it communicates to the dash, okay? And to me, this is the actual dash. This is kind of this is the processor that gets all the inputs, and then it just sends it to the Dakota Dash through a Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable or something. So this is the thing that gets all the inputs. The BIM gets its information from the OBD 2 class 2 serial data, so we have to have that. And you need it anyway, because you're going to have a check engine light on for sure, you know that, your LS swap. And this truck, it's got to go to the tuner, and he is going to want that there. He's not going to be happy if you take it to him and it doesn't have an OBD plug.
Yep.
So we're going to go through doing the OBD plug on it, because in this case it is part of getting the dash to work. And then by the time we get the dash done, you'll see that this thing, although these are not necessary, they're very nice. They eliminate a lot of wiring that you would have to do if you're doing a swap, something that has a processor in it that can communicate to one of these. And they have these for a lot of different vehicles. So we'll do that, and then the other inputs that it also receives, we'll have to do those also. So it'll be about half and half. But like I said, it cuts down on a bunch of wiring. All right, so in order to get an OBD plug going on this truck, we're working with a 2005 Silverado, right?
Yep.
We should have wrote that down. But a 2005 Silverado, anything from 2003 all the way up to 2007 or so until you hit Gen 4. They're going to be very similar to this, but check your wiring. Don't just go off of my pin numbers. What we're going to do on this one, I actually have the C100 plug, and what I need to do first is go and find my data wire that comes out of the C100 plug, and that's on this because I have the harness from a donor. Or if you didn't have the C100 connector, you would have to go to connector 1, which is the blue connector on this ECM. Pin 58 would be a dark green wire, and that is your class 2 serial data. Okay? And then the way they worked when they went into the truck, passed through the firewall right there, and it would go to a big splice. And the splice would bust off into a lot of all the different things that class 2 had to communicate with. So we're just going to get the OBD going, because that's all we need on this, and then we'll come back and do the rest, okay?
Okay.
Oh, we don't need that either. We do need this though. All right, female side of the C100 plug, that one. And this is position H in the C100 plug. That is my class 2 serial data wire, and that is what I'm gonna have to tie onto. Like I said, if you didn't have that C100 plug, all this C100 plug does, that green wire leads down to the ECM pin 58 and connector number 1, the blue connector. And then like aftermarket harnesses, they should all supply you with a OBD connector.
You would hope so.
Oh yeah. Unless it's one of the $100 ones off of Amazon.
I don't know.
Maybe those don't.
I think they're down to 50 now.
Are they really?
Ugh.
Oh my gosh. How good of a harness are you getting for $50?
I don't know.
Okay. So, here we go. Are you ready?
What are those?
These are solder connectors.
Oh, but what kind?
Not falling for it. Okay?
I'll get you at some point.
So in the truck, it goes from dark green and it goes to purple at the connector. And okay, so the purple wire, pin 16 on the ALDL connector. We'll go over that too when we get to that point. But so for my connector, I'm just going to go with purple then, because I'm going to go purple to purple. And then I'm also going to tie on a white one. Okay? And when I only need one more data connection, and it's going to go to my air conditioning, the HVAC module. So I'm just going to do that right now and have that wire done so I don't have to do it later on. Okay? So don't pay attention to the white one, basically.
Yes.
Okay?
Look away.
Yes, look away. There's nothing happening here. That's where they're going to say, oh, well, there's an extra wire there. That's why mine didn't work. That's something else that we need to talk about one of these days. The comments, first of all, we love them. Keep them coming. The good and the bad. Doesn't matter. But when we're talking with somebody back and forth, unless they make a new comment thing.
Oh yeah, like if you just reply to the original comment, we don't get a notification.
Yeah, so in order to keep a conversation going, I would have to come out here in the morning and look through 365 days of comments.
Yeah.
And I'll usually look back through no more than 2 days.
Yeah, we try to keep on it pretty close.
Yeah, but once I've kind of left the comment and I've lost track of it after a couple days, then it's a real problem. And I always think that people are just thinking that I ignored them. Yeah, but it's not the case. There are people that I ignore, but her name starts with an E.
Aww.
I can't ignore you right now.
I know, not with Valentine's coming up.
Valentine's is coming. I've been seeing all that stuff in the store.
Chocolates.
Got to be the most dreaded holiday in the world, right?
I don't know. I like the day after Valentine's sales.
Oh yeah?
All the
Chocolate's cheaper?
Yeah, all the heart-shaped boxes are half off.
I mean, I am colossal on Valentine's Day. I have disappointed so many people. Huh?
I still have the first Valentine you gave me.
I bet nobody has broken my record for disappointment on Valentine's. I went into O'Reilly's warehouse the other day. And,
to get me a Valentine's present?
No, but I could have. And it was all decorated for Valentine's and that.
Oh, really?
And the guy that works in there, his name is Larry. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, we love Larry.
Yeah. And I said, man, you got this thing, you got it looking great in here for Valentine's Day. And the look that he gave me was...
He was not into it.
No. And then he promptly told me who it was, that one of his coworkers made sure that they had Valentine's decorated. Okay. All right, back on our truck here. Okay, so here we go. We got my purple one, which is going to go to my ALDL connector, and my white one. Now, the thing that's sweet about this plug too, if you're like I'm a broken record, if you use the stock harnesses and that,
Yes.
this is going to give me everything that I need for my air conditioning also, and everything that I need for my cruise control. So air conditioning, cruise control, and data all through that.
Yeah. Right there by the fuse box, and
Yep.
don't have to go all the way down
Right.
to the PCM.
Yeah, so don't go cutting off all those wires until you got your swap all done and you know everything's cool, you know. All right, but as far as the C100 connector, my data signal, that's all I need to do this today. Let's go back to the whiteboard. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Look at that. Huh?
Ooh. Where'd you get that?
I don't know. I wonder if these will be up for sale soon, these fancy koozies.
Oh, I don't know.
Never thought I'd have my own koozie.
Hit the big time.
Yeah, really. All right, so what we do is we do it our way, okay? And I'm not gonna go under the dash of this pickup and find a hot at all time wire. I am going to use the one from this 2005 donor fuse box and make it the way it was supposed to be. So it's gonna get its power from the cigarette lighter fuse, which is in the fuse box. We'll show you where that one's at, but we're gonna have to go add a wire in connector number 1, position D5 in that box. And that is going to be my hot at all times hope, like we always call it, that is gonna go to my OBD connector.
Okay.
All right. Oh, the other thing too that is sweet about a DAKOTA Digital, I'll just mention it while I'm thinking about it. I don't have to add a check engine light also, because the check engine is on the display of the DAKOTA Digital.
Yeah.
Okay, so no light required then, so that also eliminates having to do that.
Sweet.
So let's go do that wire.
Okay.
All right. Okay, stay back there. I'll flip it over a little further. My battery's disconnected, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're going to have to add a orange wire to connector 1, position D5. And before I do that, what I like to do is I like to start at the beginning of the circuit and make sure everything works okay. I hate when I get done and then I go and I turn something on and it doesn't work. And then I find out it's something as simple as a fuse.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make sure my fuse is okay before I go and do that. And it's just double checking myself is all I'm doing. The cigarette lighter fuse is this one right here on this box. Okay. It's a 15 amp fuse. I'll have to, you want to connect the battery for me?
Oh, I might not.
That's probably fine. Maybe. Or I guess not. You're not making a connection over there.
There. Okay.
Good. Okay. Like I said, it's hot hot at all times, 15 amp fuse, and it does have power. So I know that that's okay. When I get down to the end and hit something and it doesn't come on, I know that it's not that, unless I've blown the fuse in the meantime. But I can also go and double check on the back of my box. Now that I've got it, I know that it's going to be in position D5. So position A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have the lock in there, so my thing goes in there all the way, and there you go. It's got power. So that's power with the key off. So that is hot at all times. Hooked. All right, disconnect the battery for me, please. Oh, just by chance, I happen to have an orange wire here already done. I'm gonna go ahead and just get it over with. I already butt connected it.
You said butt.
So all I got to do is add this to position D5. Let's see, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, I don't have a lock in here, so I can just do that. If I didn't have the lock in there, you've seen me have to pull them out. But while I'm doing this stuff, I just leave the lock out, and it makes my life a lot easier, especially when I go back and start cleaning everything up. And then all I gotta do is pull it back out, put the locks back in, done.
Sweet.
Okay. All right, so there's my hot at all time wire for our OBD plug. Whiteboard again?
Whiteboard.
Okay. All right, on the actual OBD plug, there are 2 grounds. They're in position 4 and 5. And these 2 are just going to get tied together to the end of my ground. And my ground is not grounded on the interior of the cab. It comes all the way out, and it's gonna ground out at the radiator core support, okay, with everything else. And that's just the way I like to do it. The grounds on a 1987, the way they did a lot of them was kind of cheesy in my opinion. So while we're doing this, we're going to eliminate a lot of 1987 wiring while we're at it. So that's why I do that. This is something absolutely want to make sure you have a good ground. Oh, that reminds me of something else that I want to talk about. So we'll do that later though. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Just to save myself some time, I already made my ground. And you can see that I kind of made one that splits off a little bit. This ground is the only one that we're really worried about right now. The other 2 here that I have, those go to the actual DAKOTA digital dash. That's what its ground is going to be. And it also ends up coming out and ends up being at the radiator support. So the wiring for our OBDs out here is done. I just need to get it through the firewall, and then we're going to move into the truck. So there's our ground, here's our power, purple wire will be our class 2 serial data, white one's my AC of course, but we're not paying any attention to that.
Okay. There we go. I think I got them all.
So my white one, we don't need it. We don't care about it. My orange. So all we got to do is connect. Let's do the data wire first, which we did purple, right? Purple on the data connector. Okay, and then once I'm all done, when I'm finishing all this stuff up, I just pull the connector out of the plug and I put a piece of heat shrink over it. May or may not need it, but whatever. I'll just do it. And
Looks prettier.
yeah, pretty.
Pretty.
It's one thing about like doing LS swaps, things like that. People need to realize it's not how well it works, it's how pretty it is.
Yes.
You know?
Doesn't matter how it drives.
Yeah, you can tell people all day long how good it runs, and nobody cares. It's like, what's it look like? The better wire that I'm using, it seems to take those connectors better. So this is my ground that I brought in. It's too long. I'll take the length out of it on the other side of it. Bear with me here. Good? Alright, so there's our power, there's our grounds. Both the grounds going into just the one, goes out to the radiator core support, and our purple data wire. So, knowing me, what do you think we would do next?
Check it and see if it works.
Correct, because I don't want to do it all and then hit go on the dash and then see nothing. So
yeah.
All right, so I'm plugged into our ALDO connector. I got to go hook up the battery. That thing shall power up then.
Okay.
Lighten up.
Yep.
Cool.
We always get questions. We use all data for our shop program, so we use their scanner.
Yes, that's what we use. Up until last week, that was our only method for connecting to a computer. But then we purchased something else.
What could we have purchased?
I think we'll hold down to that for another day.
Save that spoiler for another day.
Yes. So now we have two methods.
One of them is a lot more fun than the other.
Yes. Now we can see how many codes this thing's got in it. This is the one that we fired up on our last video. It's got a cam in it. It does not run very good. I did move it, and that's about all I'm going to run it. Now it has to go to the tuner and have him take care of those problems, get it running good.
Yeah, that fine-tuning thing we talked about.
Yes. No codes.
That's weird.
I mean, that's interesting. As bad as it runs and it has no codes, but a lot of them are probably shut down. But it is connected. We can see, you know, it wouldn't even gone this far if it wouldn't connect to it. So we have a good data signal. That's all we needed. And we're good to go, right?
Sweet. I'm just going to stay in here on these seats.
They're nice.
I like them.
He told me what the seat was out of, but I don't remember. But it was out of some kind of a Chevy truck, but I just can't remember what year, model.
I like them.
Cool. They're comfortable.
Ooh, that sure is a nice koozie.
Nick, so the UTX asked me about my LS swap.
Ooh, good and snazzy.
Alright, OBD done.
Woo!
No matter what, like I said, we would have had to done this anyway because it's got to go to the tuner, and you gotta have an OBD plug anyway. Okay.
Yes.
So that's taken care of. We are going to, or I will go and change this picture around, and we are going to get into wiring up the DAKOTA digital dash.
Ooh, fun stuff.
So let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, so the same as the OBD connector, we are going to run the dash off of the donor fuse box. Eliminate that 1987 stuff, Nothing wrong with 1987 though.
It was a good year.
Great year. People should know I graduated in 87. That's right. So, here we go. First off, we need to get power going to this box. And it has a Keon engine running power supply, and it also has a HOT, a hot at all time supply. So we are going to go into our fuse box and we're going to add a couple more wires to it. Those are going to pass through the firewall, and they are going to be down there firing up our module. Okay?
Sweet.
So let's do that. We're gonna do the same as what I did before. Double check the fuses and make sure that's all okay. You don't want to get to that point and find out they're not. So let's check that, and then we'll add these two wires.
Okay.
Okay? So let's check our fuses. And the very first one is going to be our Keon engine running. It'd be the ignition E fuse. That's what the donor ran the instrument panel off of, so that's what we're using. We're not stealing a fuse from any other thing. And it's this one right here. It'd be the ignition E fuse. And it'll be hot only with the key on and running. So I gotta turn the key on. There we go. Got power on both sides of the fuses. That's okay. So that one's all right. Our next one would be the IPC DIC fuse. So the instrument panel fuse, hot at all times, and key is off, and it would be this one. Okay?
Okay.
So that checks out all right. At this point, for what we're gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect the battery just one more time. We'll put these two wires in, and then we'll make our connections at the box, the module inside the truck, and then we can hook our battery up, and then we're gonna have to do some stuff with the battery connected.
Ooh.
Okay, scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do that. All right, save some time. I already did up some wires for it. The Keon engine running ignition E fuse is in connector 1, which is that one, and it is in position F6. So F, top row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There. Did it go? All right. It fit a little tight, but it worked. Okay.
Okay.
All right, the next one, our hot at all times, is in same connector, F7. So right next to the pink one. That sounds dangerous. You know? They could touch and spark. All right, so there we go. There's our hot at all times. So let's just check the end of that wire while our battery is still connected. Make sure it works. There you go.
Yay.
Okay, key on. Power. Key off. No power, hopefully, right? You don't want your dash just sitting there working while you're in the house, sleeping. Whatever. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so now we have these two connected to the fuse box. We know we got power going to them the way they're supposed to be. We're going to run these two through the firewall. The only other that is going through the firewall to the box will be the ground. Like I said, we eliminate the 1987 stuff. You might remember when a few minutes ago when we did the check engine light, my ground had split off and it had a couple little branches off of it. And that's, we're going to tie onto it with that. So our ground is already in the cab of the truck. waiting for this.
Okay.
And then it, you know, is connected to the radiator core support.
Yes.
So we got a great ground going up there. That was the one thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit. When you buy this kind of stuff, and if you read the instructions like a person should, a lot of times it tells you to run the ground to the battery. So we see a lot of cars that have like 30 wires going directly to the negative side of the battery cable. They're just trying to make sure that you have a good ground. And that's why I run it to that radiator core support. I know it's a good ground, and then I don't have a bunch of junk going to the actual battery. The last video that we did, firing it up, I showed what it needed for grounds, and that's all it needs. But a ground, and a lot of people know this, I know, but a lot of people are doing stuff, electronic stuff for the first time. When you talk about a ground, that piece of metal is just no different than a wire. So you're taking a piece of metal, turning it into your wire, and that is a ground. Okay? So that you're eliminating so many wires by being able to do that. So that's what they're talking about. You don't have to go nuts running a ground directly to the battery, but they absolutely want to make sure you're getting to a good ground. That's why I do it that way. It's a lot cleaner, and I know that it'll work correctly, right?
Yes.
They just don't want anybody complaining that their product didn't work and find out that it's a bad ground, because a bad ground can cause a really serious problem.
Yes.
Okay?
Big time.
So let's run these 3 wires, or that one's already run through the firewall. Let's go run these 2 through the firewall. And then we'll come back, we'll talk about the other 2 that have to go through the firewall, and we will be in the truck wiring this baby up.
Okay.
And that black one there, that's the ground we've been talking about. The battery is disconnected, so I can shove these in there and not have to worry about.
Is it disconnected?
Yeah, of course it is. Why are you questioning me?
I don't know. I don't remember you doing it.
Yeah. See, you get this close to Valentine's Day and you start getting cocky. See, it's not gonna fly.
Where's my flowers?
I haven't got any flowers yet.
Better be more than a dozen this year.
I wouldn't hold your breath. So we got 2 more wires out here. We're done underneath the box. We don't need to deal with that. Now we're gonna have to deal with our C100 plug again. So let's go talk about that.
Okay.
Ah, where'd my drink go?
Oh.
That's what we should do. We should get a koozie with a tracking device in it.
Ooh.
Get an app on your phone and tell you where your drink's at.
Oh yes, that'd be fun.
Here we go. We're going to need a signal for our check engine. And I'm not 100% sure that the BIM module doesn't take care of it on both of these. I don't know. But I just do them.
Oh,
I don't care. And I just do the 2. I do the speed signal, and I do the check engine. Okay? And I get to those wires. It's 2 more wires that are in the C100 connector. We'll do the check engine one first. It's in position G, and if you don't have the C100 connector, it's in the connector 2, which is green on this truck, in position 46.
Brown.
No, the connector's green.
Oh,
The wires,
never
the
mind.
wire's brown with a white stripe, but
Pretend like I didn't say that.
yeah, okay.
I thought you were talking about the other wire.
No, see, that's where we
I
go
know,
with.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe a teddy bear too.
Yeah.
Flowers and a teddy bear.
And a teddy bear.
And a teddy bear.
Oh, you are really cruising. So, there you go. Let's go connector 2, and we'll add our brown wire in position G. I'll have to go see if I have a brown wire, but hopefully I do.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, but I know we got green.
Speaking of brown, where are the brown dogs at? You guys having a snack attack?
What?
Ripley, are you having a snack attack? My goodness.
Yeah.
Give me a high five. Good job. That was a good one. Give me a high five. Oh, that was a good one. Okay. Is that better? They're still not going to come out here.
Oh no. Well, they got their snacks. That's all they wanted. So I did have a brown wire, so that's what we're gonna do. And this will be our check engine light. If we weren't doing a Dakota digital dash, this would be the wire that goes to the ECM. Basically, when the check engine light does its bulb check, and when it turns the check engine light on, it is a source to ground through the ECM, and it turns that light on. But in this case, we're not going to do the light bulb. It's just going to go to the Dakota digital, and that will have a little message on the dash. I know what I want for Valentine's. Oh, see, look at that. I did the wrong. Did I do the wrong wire? Yeah. It'd be nice if I could see.
Is that brown?
Yeah, it's brown with a white stripe. Isn't that right? Position G. Isn't that what it says?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's that one right there.
Okay.
We'll try a smaller butt connector.
Yeah, you said that. So what would you like for Valentine's Day?
Oh, what would I want for Valentine's Day? I want what I've always wanted every year. Just a day of peace and quiet.
You need to go away.
It's the same thing I want for Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving,
4th of July.
Hanukkah, President's Day. Yep, I ask for the same thing every year. Peace and quiet. So, there you have it. There is our mill light, our malfunction indicator lamp. I gotta quit doing that. Get yelled at. Okay? So that one's done. Let's do our green one then, which is gonna be our speed signal. It's in position D on the connector 100. If you didn't have connector 100, it is in connector number 2 down at the ECM, which is green, and it's in position 50. Right? So A, B, C, D. Be that one. These are tiny. These are 22s. I should probably get some 22 gauge wire. Kind of a waste running 18, but when it goes to the Dakota digital, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of substantial wire. So we'll go green, like it's supposed to be. If everything goes okay, I may be able to shed my glasses this month.
Oh.
People haven't noticed I'm slowly going blind, but I may have my eyes fixed this month.
Yeah. Get you some new eyeballs. Some of those Elon Musk eyes.
Oh boy, I wish I was like 20 years younger, and I could have bionic eyes in a few years.
Be pretty cool though. You have like X-ray vision.
Ooh, night vision.
I don't know if anything like that would be fun or not. It'd be fun for a little while, until the people that didn't have it were like bothering you. They're like, hey, could you come over and look and see what my neighbors are doing?
Night vision would be cool though. You could save a lot on your power bill.
Oh, that's true.
Pay off over time.
So So there we have it. Our speed signal and our check engine.
Yay!
And like I said, I'm not 100% certain if we even need these. I've never even tried it with the BIM module on this one. I've always just done them. When you go to program the DAKOTA digital, you can, or you tell it what to recognize as its signal.
Oh, I see.
So having this, it doesn't matter. It'll either get its information that way or it'll get it through the BIM module, but I'd just do it no matter what.
Yeah, those are a couple important things, so
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to have a backup.
And it's there in the wiring, so whatever. Just do it.
What's 2 more wires?
Yeah, really. Big deal. And this isn't how they're gonna go, believe me. We'll fix them.
Just gonna loop-de-loop them over there.
Yeah. Okay. It's for a video.
Yeah.
And then this is that ground. It's got way too much wire. We don't need that much in there. Okay. All right. So now we can move into the truck. Everything that for that dash that we can do out here is done. We've supplied power and it's ground, and all the other connections are on the interior.
Okay.
So let's move in. All right, even though it doesn't look like the dash, this is where we start wiring it in, because this is the thing that does everything, really.
It's the brain.
Yeah. So here are our 4 wires that we ran through. 4 wires and then our ground. So since we're working on those, let's go ahead and do those first. Right now the truck, the battery is connected. So we're gonna have 1 wire here that is hot at all time, which is going to be this orange one. Let's do that one first.
Okay.
It goes on this box, it goes to constant power. Hot. Constant power. Maybe that's what we should call it. That was my nickname in high school, actually.
Constant power.
Constant power.
Oh.
I think that's what they called me. Okay, so we're gonna do that one. Also, I ended up making a little steel plate that sits on that portion.
Oh, yeah.
And I just Velcro this to it. We won't do that today, but that's how I do it. And that's where it ends up sitting. If it was one that I was doing and I thought that it was gonna get added to a bunch, like we were just doing the bare minimum to it and might add on to it, I would put it above the glove box where the ECM used to sit on this pickup. And that way I could get to it without removing the dash. Ooh. But in this case, like if a person ever wanted to go add something to it, then you end up having to take the dash pad off, pull the cluster out of it, and then get to it that way. So here's our orange wire that is constant power. I'm not going to cut these to length right now. I'm just going to get them in there and get it done for people so they can
you get the gist of it.
Yeah. You got to have a small screwdriver for them. Okay, don't crank down on them. Don't put all the corns to it. So there's your constant power. Our accessory power is going to be the pink wire with the key on and in run position, because you want your dash to work when the engine's running.
Yeah.
So it's going to go into that one.
Oh, there's a little flashing light.
Where?
Itty bitty guy.
How does it flash when I haven't connected the ground yet? Huh? Answer that. Alright, so there we go. Our pink wire, key on, engine running, accessory power, orange wire, hot at all times, constant power. Let's do the grounds. That way I can quit freaking out of why the light is blinking when it doesn't have a ground at all. That's the ground right there on the end. And then they also want a ground for the fuel sending unit. And they, like if you show the instructions on it, they want one that runs all the way down to the sending unit, but we pretty much did that when we wired up the fuel pumps. But it's just going to work off having a good body ground. Same thing, like I said, a good ground. I'm not going to freak out about my, oh, that light got brighter, didn't it? With the ground.
Ooh, yes it did.
And when you're not doing this on a video, it's a lot easier. And I don't know if that one would honestly be necessary, but you know, oh, you know what? I forgot to run one wire through here. I forgot to run the fuel sending wire through.
Oh no.
And I do have it done already, but this has got dual tanks, so I'll push that through and we'll do that one. In fact, we'll do that one next, okay?
Okay.
And also, all your wires that you're running, I pull them through high up in the firewall. You know, it's where I like them to come through. But run them over the top of the steering column. So, this is the sending unit wire. We'll do that one. It's really long, and I don't care because I'm going to have to redo it as soon as I get the dual tanks wired up.
Oh yes.
So I'll just pull the length back through, but fuel sending, we're gonna go to that one. Alright, so now our brown wire. Which one was the brown one? Middle light, right?
Yeah, chicken bin light.
Okay. So malfunction indicator lamp light. The ground for that. We'll go check engine, right? So why would you ever want to check your engine?
I don't know.
Boy, I could go back to the days without check engine lights. We could do a YouTube channel of me installing mufflers. So our other one, our green one, that was our speed. So it'll be our speed send. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that would, what they want that to mean is the sender. It's coming from the ECM, its signal. So speed send. Did I get it? Right one?
Yep.
There we have it. We got our two grounds, our pink, our green. Our pink is our sending unit. Our other pink one, which is key on and run position, and our hot at all times, our orange wire, and our check engine source to ground. Those are all the wires that we did up to that point. So now we got to work with the wires that originally went to the dash. Oh yeah, this is the other thing too. Like on this 87 and the other square bodies, this was the ground junction block right there.
Oh yeah.
So all those were the grounds, and that's what I mean. They worked okay, but I think they're kind of hokey. But that's what I use for my test light when I'm in here working on them. And I'll go and I'll start. First I'm gonna check my test light. All right. So I got nothing there. I'm gonna turn the key on. I'm gonna hit one of the pink ones there because I know the pink ones are hot. Hot with the key on. So there's a pink one, and that one is not. So I don't care about that one. But there's a pink one that's hot. Turn it over. That other pink one's hot. Those two are not. All right. So with key off, check it again. None of them are hot. So now we got to go through this thing and figure out which wires do what for us. And all on this one, on an 87, and the square bodies are all pretty well the same. These power leads were pink with a black tracer. and we're not using the power from this any longer, so we can go to the connector. We can go in and just eliminate them so we don't have to look at them anymore. And that one, right? And this one. So on that one, there were 3 of them that had power with the key on. We don't need them anymore. Shorten them up so they don't touch anything. I'm going to check the plug one more time for power with the key on. Nothing there. Nothing at that pink one. Nothing on any of those. So let's pick one that we want to do next. Let's do how about the dim?
Oh, yes.
So that would be the one that would turn the dash lights on when you turn your headlamps on. And so it'll be a positive signal when you pull out your headlamps. And which color wire do you think it would be? Okay.
Feels blue.
Blue. I'm gonna go with gray. Okay. And
I vaguely remember this.
yeah, right. All right. So see the gray one there?
Mm-hmm.
It's lighting up my test light. So I'm gonna hold it onto that, push in, it goes off. Even the first, notch is gonna turn that on. All right.
Okay.
The other thing that might trip somebody up though, when they do that, would be if it's on high beam. Okay. So you go, okay, well, I just turned my lights on and I got power there, right? But if I go like that, put it on low beam, no power. All right. So you can mix those 2 wires up. So we're going to go through all these and basically find each wire as we need them, doing it that way. And no matter what you're working on, that's how you could do it if you didn't have a wiring diagram. And I've got a wiring diagram for this truck, and it is horrible. I'd do it after looking at the wiring diagram. I would do it this way versus even trying to bother doing it with a wiring diagram. So I'm gonna just do 1 wire at a time so I don't mess anything up. This would be our dimmer wire, right? So it's gonna go into that one. So that one's done. And then, so say we hadn't just done that, let's check our high beam. All right, so our headlamps are on. There you go, high beam, low beam. Which one is going to be our, does it say? High,
Right there.
right there. That little light quit blinking. Wonder why, huh?
I don't know.
Okay. So we got those. Next, what would we need?
What? Turn signals.
Turn signals. Yes. Let's find the turn signals.
Left and right.
Yeah. So key on. You hear a flasher?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's flashing. Our dark blue one there is flashing with it on the right turn signal.
Okay.
So turn it on the left. I don't hear a flasher.
Yep.
Terrific. Okay. Yellow. I can't remember what the yellow one does. I should know. Yellow. That's probably for the airbag.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we know the dark blue one is the right turn signal, so we can do that one. All right, so that's our right turn signal. Going to that one. All right, so I know the light blue one is the left turn signal. I can confirm it with my test light. It won't flash when it's in the left, when the left turn signal is on. Okay. Should flash there like the right one does. Right? And it doesn't, but I'm gonna turn the flasher on. Come on.
Okay.
So it flashes with the flasher on, so that confirms that it's the left side. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that. Okay, so that's my turn signals. That's one way of doing it on this system. This will make the dash, it'll have indicators in it that show your left and right. There's another way to do it where it uses the little flashing lights, and I'll show you that in a little bit.
Okay.
Once we bring the dash in here. But if you're going to use the dash and have it flash on the dash, that's what you do with that. So now we only have what left? This helps if you don't read it upside down. Brake.
Oh, the brake lights.
Yes, not the brake lights, but the brake, like the parking brake indicator.
Oh yeah.
And the way a parking brake indicator works is it is a source to ground. So it used to get, the dash had its power through one of these three pink and with black tracer wires. And then the brake lamp, when somebody applied the emergency brake, or else if you lost brake pressure, then it grounds through the dash wiring, and that's what would make that light come on. So we have to find that wire, and the way I'm going to do it is with an ohm meter. That to ground. Set it on ohms. I'm going to check my meter. Okay, zeroed out. And now I'm going to see which wire with the emergency brake applied will give me continuity. So it's, is it that one?
It's doing something.
Okay, so that's a light brown with a white.
That one's...
So pretty good connection, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just check the others. There could be some grounds in here too. Yellow one, no. The other two, that black one, it's a ground, I'm sure of that. And dark green, brown. I think it's brown.
Brown's doing something
Did it? Yeah. Oh, that's black.
there. Oh, I
Isn't
see.
it?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a ground, we know there. Tan wire, no. So let's try it. This light brown with a white tracer. I'm gonna hold it to it, and now we have an open circuit, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna apply the brake while I'm holding it on there, and there you have continuity. Do it again, and an open circuit.
Sweet.
So that light brown with a white tracer, that is the brake warning light. It's a source to ground, and that's exactly what Dakota Digital wants on that. They're pretty smart about how they did that stuff. And also the thing with these, the Dakota Digital, I've got it down there, but they have excellent instructions.
Yes.
So where's it at? Brake right there.
For one in.
Okay. Let's just killing you, you'd like to tighten up one of them, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so now let's look at what we've got. So we've got our speed signal, our fuel sending unit, our ground to that. We don't have oil pressure. It's going to get oil pressure off the BIM module.
Yes.
Okay. We don't have water temperature going to it. It's going to get that off the BIM module.
Okay.
The adjuster, we got to do those yet. And the switch for the adjustment, the way this thing works to adjust all its inputs, you have to add a little button to it, and we'll do that probably next. Speed signal, I said we had. There's our power. There's our ground. We've got our dimmer, our check engine ground to the ECM, our brake warning lamp, our high beam indicator, our left and right turn signals. The cruise control is the one that we don't have on this one. The cruise wants a negative signal, and I haven't figured that out yet, how to do it without that. You can buy a fairly expensive module that makes it happen, but I'm working on figuring that one out, and I'll do that. I'll do that, and I know I'll have that figured out when I do Jeff's DAKOTA Digital. So that, because otherwise all I could do is I could make the cruise light come on by using a relay. I could trick it to be a source to ground when you just have the cruise in the on position. So that's something I think about all the time. So let's do the switch. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So on this, you have to have a way to switch what your dash is doing, all the little things that it can tell you that I was talking about earlier that it does. You can kind of page through them, but you also have to have this button to set the dash up for what all of its inputs are, like if it's reading from a BIM or if it's reading from the sensors that are wired to the engine. How it's getting its inputs is how this is how it's adjusted through that. So like I said, they have great instructions. The red wire is going to go to the switch positive.
It says SW1.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
SW1 negative? Really? I better look at the instructions.
Oh, my goodness.
SW1
Red.
is red.
Okay.
And then SW2 is green or white. And then the black one goes to adjust. So far we're right. So the green or white, in this case it's green, it's going to go to SW2. And the black wire, according to them, goes to the adjust negative. Alright, so we've got our switch, and on this truck right now we've got all the inputs that we need. If it was a 4x4, you can, does everything. Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool. Gear, I don't know if that's high or low or if it tells you what gear you're in, but the BIM is going to tell us if we're in park, neutral, drive, and that. So, oh, another thing I forgot. When I did the brake one, I cut one of those wires. There's two of them and I didn't remember that. The one that I cut and hooked to it, it goes down to the emergency brake.
Yes.
But this one goes down to the little switch on the.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, down kind of on the frame.
Yeah. So like if there's a difference in pressure, that's what turns your brake light on if you lose brake pressure. So I gotta add it to that one. So, wait right there for me, all right?
Okay.
We are switched on. We'll probably I bet you he won't mind if I just wrap it around there and zip tie it, and then that way that's where we can leave it. He could adjust it from that point.
Oh, don't waste a zip tie. You could just tape it.
Oh, that's true. We'll get some sticky tape.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, like double-sided tape.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we going to get the inputs to all the other stuff? We're going to use the BIM module. All right, it's awesome. You can't screw it up. You know, the little plugs only go into one thing.
Oh, cool.
All right, so I'm going to go from there into this one. Come on. Come on now. There you go. All right.
Okay.
So you got that. And then it comes with this cable, of course. It's going to go into the input. Right?
Okay.
And then when we started this video, we did the OBD2 connector. It plugs into that.
Okay.
Right? And also, our other wires that we're not using, like this green wire, that is the temperature sender wire from a 1987. You know, we're not using that anymore because we've got an LS in this truck, but if you weren't changing that stuff over, if you had, you know, the original engine and everything, you would run this wire to that, and you would get your temperature sensor off of that. One of these is oil pressure. I think it's the brown one. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Brown is the white, and then yellow. I'm not sure what that would be. And then one of the pinks was the fuel sending units.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's all three of those actually, because they're tied to one. So none of those are used anymore on this plug the way we're doing it with this, but if you were doing something else, you absolutely could, and that dash would work with all those. So when we're done here, I'll cut all these off. I'll put some heat shrink over them, make sure there's no bare wires anywhere, especially the pink, the hot ones, and then that stuff's just eliminated. But so right now, this DAKOTA dash will do everything that it could possibly do. And should we plug it in or just end the video?
We should probably plug it in.
Okay.
People will be a little disappointed. Very nice.
It's kind of cool that you don't have to mess around with the actual dash doing it.
Yeah, to me that's the scariest thing, is just touching this whole device.
So the dash plugs into a display, one of these three. Give you three. It doesn't matter which one you plug it into. Like I said, this isn't where it's really going to sit for its whole life. Okay. So, and then it just plugs in. There's no wiring to do with that at all. It's upside down. Don't install them upside down. Okay.
Think you'd notice?
Yeah. So.
Ooh.
There you go. So that's the key on. Headlights on. So you get your backlighting in it. It's showing battery voltage right there already. It won't start showing how much fuel I have in the gauge or how much fuel I have in the tank until I adjust it. Okay. The button. I just push the button. And it wants to start toggling through different things, and so that would adjust my fuel sender. It's going through different things, right? So there you have it. It works okay. If the truck ran better, I'd fire the truck up and show you the tach working. But so the dash is getting its information off of that BIM for the tach. oil pressure, coolant temperature. This thing also reads transmission temperature. It does a whole bunch of things, and then it's also getting its speed signal. We think it's getting its speed signal through the one wire that we did, but it could be getting it through the BIM. I don't know, but either way, it gets its speed signal, and the thing works, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
So that's it. All right.
Okay.
Except for a couple other things.
Except for a couple other things.
These, if you want your turn signals, if you want these to light up, they send you some wiring that goes to these to do that. But the way we have it wired up right there, with the turn signal on, our bulb is burnt out on the left hand side, so we can't chuck that one. But that's how it shows there, and then I'll do the hazards just to show both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how it's wired up right now. So it gives you a bunch of options basically, and both of these are the same color and everything. It's an LED light, so there is a polarity to it. You would take your green wire, green and white wire. In this case, that's the left one. You would run that to your left turn signal wire that was on there, and then the black and white just goes to a ground. And if you wanted to do both, you can. I've done that, and it does work if you want to do both. I ran this one along with my left one,
And just stuck it in there with
yep.
it.
Yeah, and then so then these light up. Okay.
So you'd have these and the ones in the
Yes.
speedometer. Sweet.
Yeah. So aside from making everything look nice, we're all done wiring it up.
Okie dokie.
All right, so to sum it up a little bit, I would highly recommend figuring on buying the BIM module if you've got something that will run one of the BIM modules. Saves you a bunch of work, saves you a bunch of wiring. The dash itself, I think all of them come with like the wiring for like temperature and oil pressure. They send you a ton of fittings. One of those there is for the speed sensor also, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the other cool things about them too, like if you don't have a speed sensor signal or you're just using it to run something else and it's a little bit of a mess, these things, you can buy another little module for GPS. They work off of GPS and you'll get your speed sensor that way. There's so many things that they do. It's like, I don't have the time to sit there and list it all. They have a look, each different like design of them. There's a couple different designs, but you can get them in different colors, and there's a lot of options with them. Okay, so check them out. The splitter, you can buy a splitter cable from them. This will plug into the OBD connector. That would go to you could plug your BIM module into that thing, and then not have to unplug your dash when you have the OBD connector plugged into it, like a scan tool or something.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I don't like when I work on something, and especially if I have to drive it, that I can't watch the dash too while I'm watching a scan tool. Okay, so they sell those, and that's really cool. And it comes with like almost virtually everything that you would need for most vehicles that you're putting it in, you know. So they're pretty good. Like I said, I have no bad things to say about them.
And the instructions are really good.
Yes.
So, especially when you get down to setting up like the speed, setting your calibrations and your fuel sending unit and all that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Once you get down to the point where you're setting it up, once you've done it, a couple of them, then you're like an expert at it. You don't even have to read the instructions anymore. So it's pretty simple if I can do it. And I really can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
Okay? which is really weird. They're made in America also.
Huh.
I don't think the electronics probably come from America, but I believe it's South Dakota.
I think so.
Yeah, Sioux Falls, South Dakota,
Wow.
where my grandmother was from.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes, so buy them. American
do it.
made, right?
Yeah. Not a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a sponsor. But they probably don't need me to sponsor for them, but if they would want to send me one, that would be great. I have a 1985, 1974, 76, a
70.
70, 72, and
65.
a 65 and a 60.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, the 60.
So I don't know how many that is, but all of them need Dakota dashes.
Exactly.
Right?
Dakota Digital, call me.
Yes.
So there you go, another one of our most requested videos for a long time now. I hope it helps you out. If you guys have questions, be sure to let us know down in the comments. And I want to give a big thank you to everybody that's been buying stuff from our merch store. Like we said, we're adding some koozies. And we got sticker packs, shirts, hats, coffee mugs. Go check it out. We greatly appreciate the support. We appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you next time. Where are these sad dogs at?
Terrible.
Terrible dogs today. Juice, come here. Why are you so sad? Huh? Really? Why are you so sad? They say they're a high energy breed, but I'm starting